Can you hear me? Hello, everyone. This is Vlog Media Breeze, and I am tonight going to be doing the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. Um, it is about 8:02 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and today is November the 18th, 2021. So this show entails Kenya and Cynthia from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. It also has Ramona, I'm sorry, Teresa and Melissa from The Real Housewives of New Jersey, and it has Luann and Ramona from The Real Housewives of New York. And Kyle, of course, is hosting it at her home, or at a place in, it's called Villa Concierge. Well, no, Michael is the Villa Concierge. Sorry. What is the name of this? Triton or Triton Villa, Triton Villa, and it's in the Turks and Caicos, and it's absolutely beautiful. And I really like this. Remember earlier in one of my videos when I was talking about how the Real Housewives, what I like to see in them, Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip is what I love seeing about the housewives, not Candace. Candace is a person who has too many issues and needs to get help before she comes on this forum. Okay. Um, Real Housewives are women of a certain maturity. They're mature. Candace has not reached that level yet, even though she's in her late 30s. Did you guys know that? I believe someone on another channel said that Candace is 38. So it's high time that she gets some things right in terms of sophistication and how you're supposed to be around people. I digress on that, but I was only bringing her up because she is the exact opposite of what I like to see on the girls' trip on the Real Housewives. It starts out that Ramona and Luann are on the telephone, and Ramona wants Luann to have her back. And Luann, of course, agrees to have her back, but she's only going to have her back until she puts her foot in her mouth. Now, this is a good girlfriend relationship because Luann can say that to her, and Ramona and Luann will still be friends. This is not what the relationship that Candace likes to have with women. She thinks people are supposed to have her back even when she's in the wrong. A lot of women think that way nowadays. I grew up in a time when it was okay for us to say to each other what we thought, or if we didn't like something, and we would just move on from it. It wasn't a big debate. And nowadays, people want you to have their back, even if they are going to do things like, as they say, hide the body. No one's going to have your back for that, ma'am. On that one, we'll have to have the police's back. Okay. So they show Luann, not Luann, but Ramona on the phone with Michael, who is the Villa concierge. And one of the ladies is trying to say concierge on the show, and she keeps saying concierge. I've heard people say that. I guess they think the G is silent. And I think that it derives from the French terminology anyway. Teresa is the one who can't say it. She says concierge. Teresa is just, even the way she looks at people sometimes, she's just not all there. I understand why they had her on this girls' trip because she is the OG in New Jersey. Okay. They show Kenya in her home talking on the phone to Cynthia, and they show Brooklyn. And you guys, my heart melted. Brooklyn is a beautiful baby girl. She is so beautiful. Mark, it's your loss. It is completely your loss. You have a beautiful wife. Kenya's beautiful, and she would have been loyal to him. She would have been. and they have that beautiful baby girl, and he just wants to mess it all up because he got in that relationship for the wrong reasons. I liked that when Kenya was on the phone with Cynthia, and Kenya says, "Auntie Cynthia." And Brooklyn runs over to over to Cynthia because she was so excited that she runs over to Kenya because she was so excited that Cynthia was on the phone. And lately I've been reading where Cynthia and Kenya might have had a falling out. It is moments like that that you want to keep. So I hope that her and Cynthia can work it out. One of the blogs was saying the reason they fell out is because Cynthia felt like the Real Housewives ladies did not have her back when it came to her coming back to the franchise. Well, Cynthia, you should not be mad at them. We didn't want you back. I mean, initially I did. It didn't matter to me if they brought you back or not. However, most of the viewers did not want you back. They feel like you do not bring anything. And when you're on the plane, you yourself even say that you are not really that social, that you are a social hermit. You like to go sit in the corner. And that is demonstrative of your role on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. It requires you to be social and to have a little more going on. So you can't run to the corner and hide. And I think you are one of those people who wanted something for nothing because you did not bring anything. I was for you being on the show because I felt like you brought a balance between Kenya and some of the other ladies on the show. I felt like that you were a good support for her and that you could give her direction at times. Next, they show Melissa and Teresa in the van. They're all on their way to the villa. And who was it that said when we get it was Melissa. Melissa's in the van, and I think Melissa really wants to make things work with Teresa. Here is the thing that a lot of people don't like to say, and I think a lot of people don't like to say it because they are that way themselves. But a lot of people don't like to admit Teresa is jealous of Melissa. That's why she doesn't like to um that's why she doesn't want it to work. That's why she like in her confessional she said, uh, you know, I thought this trip was for all the OGs. I hate to say it, Melissa's not an OG. There she is in her confessional throwing her sister-in-law under the bus. Something must be going on during filming for her to have this issue going on the Ultimate Girls trip. Melissa and Teresa are in the van, and Melissa, this goes to show you that she does want a good relationship with Teresa because she says, when we get old and say and say things like, remember when we said all of that stuff back then and we didn't like each other and now we love each other. Melissa's trying to give Teresa a visual, and Teresa still didn't get it. If you all have seen Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, that is what I am reviewing today and giving my commentary on. So if you've seen it, get down in the chat and talk about it. If you have not seen it, still get down in the chat and talk about it. It is a great show. This is what housewives are supposed to be. This is what I said earlier. It's supposed to be this is what I like about the housewives. Candace is the antithesis of all of this. And sure, these girls on this trip have a little bit of drama, but they make up really quickly. So Melissa goes on to tell Teresa about something that Ramona had said about Teresa. Ramona is one of those people who my grandparents would say she ain't got good sense. And that's just it, you guys. Ramona is one of those people who back in the day we would just say she ain't got good sense. Look at her motions, her movements, and the way she speaks. that's probably why her husband left her. He probably got tired of her. He probably saw her, thought she was cute, and thought he could make it work. But then years of all that cray cray, he had to get out, especially when he met another woman who did have some sense. Melissa tells Teresa that Ramona called her scarecrow. She tells her about the scarecrow comment. And Teresa immediately goes into defense mode, trying to say that Ramona is the one without a brain, because she probably didn't have anything else to say. It probably bothered her that someone would say that she was a scarecrow, meaning she didn't have a brain. So the fact that Melissa shared that with Teresa, that's a good sister-in-law. They're in the van, in the SUV, riding to the villa, and they're having a conversation. I think Teresa, if you look at her nonverbals, they look like she doesn't want a relationship with her sister-in-law, and that she's just in it because she has to be. And I really think it boils down to jealousy. These women, if you look at their conversations, I know we like to look at them. I like to look at them because of their lifestyle. However, in terms of their conversations is a conversation that you might have with your girlfriends. It's no different than any other conversation. I mean, we're not going to be throwing drinks or acting crazy the way that they do to get attention on the show, but it's the same type of conversations. They are not above any other woman, is what I'm saying. However, their lifestyle is above a lot of us, and I like to look at it. They go and they're on the plane now, and Cynthia, this is when Cynthia says that she is often socially awkward. And really, and yet you wanted to stay on Real Housewives of Atlanta, Cynthia, and I like you. I like you. I really do. I think you're a gorgeous woman. If you are socially awkward, this is why we wanted you off of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Well, not me, but a lot of other people did. For me, you could have stayed. It would not have mattered because, like I said earlier, I thought you brought a good balance. However, when you say you're socially awkward and that they can put you in a corner somewhere when you're in a room with a bunch of other people, that's why you had no storylines, and that's why people wanted you off of the show. That right there. And perhaps the show was not meant for you. And I don't think you should be mad at Kenya for not speaking up for you and trying to get you back on the show. I don't think you should be mad at her for that, because the rumor is that's why you and Kenya fell out, is because you felt like she didn't have your back getting you back on the show. The viewers don't want you on the show. If someone doesn't want you somewhere, move on. The people who are watching the television do not want you on the show, Cynthia. And I'm not one of them, but I'm just saying, in that situation, in that job, if that happens, you need to move on. Stop trying to force yourself onto a million people who say no. Kenya, Ramona stands up because they start talking. I don't know what made Ramona do this, but she starts talking about how she is the OG. She's number one. She's the senior. And Kenya reminded Ramona real quickly that Real Housewives of New York has never, ever been number one. Kenya is so quick with it. This is what I love about Kenya. And I am a Kenya fan. I am. I've never been a Portia fan. I think Portia is too flighty and not smart for me. She really is. She's too flighty and she's violent. When you do what she has done on Real Housewives of Atlanta, that's violence. And people love her for that. I disagree with it. And she's oftentimes though, people who are violent are not smart. They're often airheaded. They really are. And it's because they do not know how to communicate in a civil way their thoughts, and what they don't know how to speak that way. So they turn it into violence. So the fact that she is a violent person and she's not smart, the two pretty much go hand in hand. I digress on that. I just next. So Kenya reminds Ramona that Real Housewives of New York has never been number one, and they haven't. So Cynthia cuts the ribbon because it's Kenya's first time leaving Brooklyn, and leaving Brooklyn, her baby, not Brooklyn. the borough in New York, but her baby named Brooklyn, who is adorable. And Cynthia is, I keep calling her Cynthia. Kenya is in tears because she misses her baby. It's her first time away. And as they're cutting the ribbon, Cynthia has a proposal to the other women. She wants them to give up the master bedroom to Kenya because it is her first time away from Brooklyn. Of course, Ramona wants that master, right? Because she thinks she's the most senior. She's the oldest OG. Her franchise is the oldest of all of them sitting there on the plane. And she agrees eventually to give it to Kenya, but we will see that she goes back on her word. Kenya and Ramona have it out because Ramona is talking about there is a gentleman in Turks and Caicos who she met about 6 years ago when the Real Housewives of New York went to Turks and Caicos, and he owns a restaurant. And she has been in touch with him to let him know that the ladies are going to be at Turks and Caicos and they want to come by the restaurant and eat and wine and dine and all of that stuff. And she's telling them how she met him. And she met him because she said that Mario had been cheating on her for a whole year and she just felt like flirting. She was divorcing Mario, so she just began flirting with Michael, who was the restaurant owner. Kenya gets involved and she says, "So you were flirting with him before you got divorced?" And she said it like 2 or 3 times in order to clarify from Ramona. But Ramona, being the BIT that she is, calls Kenya a BIT. And I think that Ramona wanted to do that. I think she planned to do that because, as we know now, Ramona does not like Black Americans. We've learned that she has some racial issues, allegedly. And she had already said in her confessional that she heard that Kenya wasn't easy to get along with. So a lot of what she is doing on this trip, like calling Kenya Portia, calling Kenya the B word, I believe she planned to do that because she wanted to start something with Kenya. But we see Kenya gets right back in that A whenever they go out to dinner. Kenya told her after she called her that BIT, Kenya said, "You do not know who I am. You better ask someone." She said, "You don't have to call me the B," and she didn't. The other ladies on the plane get Ramona to apologize, so she apologizes. And they are in the SUV. Kyle, Kenya, and Cynthia are in the SUV. They land. The plane is landed. They all take their 2 SUVs. So those 3 are in one, and the other 4, Melissa, Teresa, Ramona, and Luann, are in the other SUV. In the SUV, Kyle lets Kenya know that Ramona planned to call her Portia on the trip. So Kyle was giving her a heads up. See how Kyle is still keeping things. Kyle understands. She understands the position she's in. She understands the assignment, as they say. Because she didn't have to tell Kenya that, but she did. And you know why she did. Because she knows, she's seen the Real Housewives of Atlanta. She knows Kenya's going to bring that right back around. They show signs of the villa, and it's called Triton, Triton. There are 7 bedrooms. All of the bedrooms have oceanfront views. So Kyle really did the daggone thing for these women, except the one downstairs. The one downstairs does not have those views. And there is a race to the master bedroom. Ramona goes in there. She puts her feet in the bed. She's laying on the bed. All after she told, this tells you Ramona cannot be trusted. She had just told them on the plane that she's going to let Kenya have that room. They all agreed to Kenya having that room. But she goes in there, has her dirty feet in the bed. She's laying all up on it, and don't nobody want to be in the bed where Ramona has been because, as we know, she shishes all over the place and she pisses all over the place everywhere she goes. So you don't want to be in the bed after she's been laying up in there. And so that she ends up in the bedroom, and Melissa and Kyle end up downstairs in the suites that have no ocean front view. They will be sharing a bathroom. The rooms are separate, but they will be sharing a bathroom. And we find out that Melissa's room doesn't even have any windows in it, bless her heart. So the scene goes back to Ramona in the kitchen, and she's talking to the concierge, Michael, the villa concierge, and she tells him how she's the OG. Her show's been on since 2006, and that she was nice enough to give the bedroom to Kenya because Kenya is going through some things. But then she went on to say, "But I should have the bedroom because I'm the OG. I've been here since 2006." They go out to the outside where the tables are. This is a beautiful place, Turks and Caicos. I've never been to Turks and Caicos. I have friends who have been, and they talk about how beautiful it is. I've never been. Now I'm like, okay, I want to go. But I don't know. During the pandemic, who knows? Ramona has on this swimsuit with her back buns hanging out. Who knows why she wore that? And she didn't even go swimming. Her and She went with Luann to the ocean, and I thought she was going to go swimming. She didn't even go swimming. She's on the phone with the restaurant owner, and she's talking to him again, preparing him for the ladies' trip. As the ladies are getting ready to go out to dinner, Melissa tells Kyle about the real-time Twitter leaks. The tweets. There are tweets that are talking about how Ramona stole the master bedroom and how she called Kenya a BIT, and they are wondering how those tweets are getting out. So they are going through their phones, doing a little, techie investigation, and they learned that the person who is tweeting this information is actually friends with Kenya, and they find pictures of him and Kenya, and it does look like it was Kenya who sent those tweets. So have you guys seen Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip? I see some of you here. Have you seen it? You can get in the comments anytime. I see you guys are doing your usual. This is how I know that what you do is you go out, you create accounts, and you come back in with different accounts. But tonight I have it on subscribers only. So they're at the dinner, and they have a beautiful dinner. Ramona orders shrimp appetizers for her and all the ladies, and she starts flirting with Mike, with the owner. She hasn't seen him in like 6 years, and she's still flirting with him. I think his name is Anthony. Oh, no, the person who was leaking the tweets is named Anthony. That's Kenya's friend. So the ladies are at the table, they start talking about the Twitter leaks, and Melissa and Kyle tell them what the tweets say, and they remind Kenya, they're like, he's friends, he's friends with you, it seems. And Kenya, she denies it, but I don't believe her. Unless some other person at that table was trying to set up Kenya, I don't believe her. She definitely has been in touch with this guy, Anthony, because who else at the table would have done it? We know it was not Kyle and Melissa. It could have been Ramona or Luann, but it doesn't sound like something Luann would do. It does sound like something Ramona might do. Ramona is, I think that what happened, what's her name? Took her over to a place and talked to her. Oh my gosh, Cynthia was talking to Ramona, trying to get her to change the way she is on the trip because she's just making all kinds of comments about people. So Ramona comes over and apologizes to them. She has this whole big old apology after talking to Cynthia about the issue. I love that Kenya got Ramona back at this dinner. She got her back. She called her an a-hole and all of these things just before Cynthia took Ramona aside and talked to her. Kenya really got her back because she had no reason to call Kenya a BIT. Kenya was just trying to clarify. For some reason, amid Ramona's apology, I don't know if you all saw this, if you have seen the show, but for some reason, Cynthia kissed Ramona on the cheek. And I'm going, you know, this woman, you don't be doing that. What is wrong with you? Kissing that woman's butt. Cynthia? It reminded me of when Garcelle was wiping Erica's tears. I was like, why is she wiping that woman's tears? I mean, and some African American females are like this. They could just eat the poop on certain people. And I was like, why are you kissing Ramona? I didn't get that. So Ramona apologizes, and in her apology, she's giving this what sounds like a heartfelt apology, but I think it's just for the show. So when she's done with her apology, Teresa brings up the scarecrow comment. Teresa said, "What about the scarecrow comment?" So she goes over, she's sitting down, she's talking to Teresa, and she goes, "I love being around smart women. I love being around smart women. And whenever I look at your show and they're all talking about how you are not smart, that's why I made the comment. But now that I've gotten to know you, I mean, you've been through so much. You're a very strong woman and you are smart." She tells Teresa all this, and her and Teresa hug it out. And that was pretty much the end. Back at the villa, though, it's about 1:14 a.m. Kyle and Ramona are in the kitchen talking about Kyle's, body image because I didn't know Kyle had body image issues, but she does. I think Kyle has a beautiful body, by the way. I like Kyle. And at any rate, it ends with Kenya and Ramona and all them. They're back at the table, and Kenya is talking about something that Ramona did on the yacht earlier that day. And I want to know what it is. I'm going to go look at the second show tonight. But she's exposing Ramona. She said that Ramona blackmailed Luann about something. So I cannot wait to see what that is about. See, Ramona did the wrong thing when she messed with Cynthia. I mean, messed with Kenya. Ramona did the wrong thing when she messed with Kenya. And I just that's it. I liked the show. It was very entertaining. I like the scenes. My eyes are very visual, so when I'm looking at certain shows, it's important for me to have a beautiful scene. And they gave me that. They gave me a beautiful scenes, and their clothes were on point. All of the ladies looked absolutely beautiful. Even Ramona for her age, because I think she's 64 or 65. I don't like people who are racist, and Ramona strikes me as that. And she's irresponsible with it because she will not uh, learn and develop from it. I know that Bravo is going to be giving her, from what I understand, allegedly, some sensitivity classes because they are trying to bring her back. And no, it's time for her to go. Do not bring her back. Do not bring her back. It is time for her to go. For those of you who come over here and I don't know what it is or what it is that you're trying to monitor when it comes to me. But if you would just be honest with that and get down in the comments and tell me what it is, we can have a conversation about that because I'm really getting sick of it and I will block you. If I see certain behaviors on here, I'm blocking you. Even though I'm trying to get more than 1,000. I really do want more than 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. But I want people who are going to participate in this forum, people who like the shows, who actually watch the shows and have something to say. The behavior that I'm getting over here, especially in the comments, is usually the same person. They just change their name, they change their profile. Can't do nothing about that. But anyway, I digress. That was Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. And I'm gonna go. You have to watch it on Peacock, you guys. You can go on Peacock and you can watch it on your phone, your computer, your television, wherever you want to watch it. And it is a really good show. And I need to get caught up because I think that they are on episode 4 now. They're on episode 4, and I just watched episode 1, which was free, but I did pay the $4.99, so I'm gonna go watch the rest of them. And thank you for showing up. Since no one has anything to participate in, I even put up the link for you guys to come on and have a conversation, and you didn't do that. So I wanna know, why are you here? That's what I wanna know. I'm glad you showed up, but I want some participation too. And it really seems to be the same people over and over again, um, that are just trolling me. But at any rate, I digress. You guys have a good evening. I'm not going to play any music going out because I'm working on an exit, production for this channel, and I'll be using that in the future. But anyway, just if you guys can remember to like, subscribe, and click the notifications bell. There's always one person who clicks the clicks the hands down uh, button, so can't do anything about that either. You guys have a great week, okay?